Thank you guys for coming back to another episode of Cobra TV. So as we know, No Man's Sky did not make it to the PlayStation live stream. I do not know why yet. At the time I'm recording this video, by the time I upload the video, it may be known why they missed it. So please don't hurt me too bad if at the time you're seeing this, we know why they didn't make it. A lot of new information did come out, and I'm going to talk about some of that today here on this show. Some new information of information we already knew is more clearer now, and one of those is naming planets. Yes, we can name planets just like we've always known, but it turns out you cannot name a planet just because you found it. You can only name a planet if you have discovered enough things on that planet. And we know this because Daniel Dwyer was given a chance to play the game behind doors, and he talked about it on a video.
Okay. Like if you find enough stuff on a planet, then you can rename that planet, and that'll be the same for anyone else playing the game.
So if you find enough stuff on a planet, then you can name a planet. So that means you can't just, go to a planet and just because you see it, get to name it. You literally have to put some work into it. So you got to go down, you got to explore the planet, look for life and look for monuments or whatever else might be on that planet, and then you will be able to name the planet once you put a little bit of work into it. And then another thing that he talked about that really got me going is the crafting. It's exactly what some of you had said, and crafting is like crafting some periodic table elements together to create another element. And when you find blueprints, they're blueprints to what you can mix what with, but and there's a big but to that, and he talks about it right here.
A narrative and pulls you along.
Yeah, so I think they've been kind of like intentionally obfuscating exactly what the narrative is, because in the same way that like they're not saying like, oh, you can make this many guns. Actually, you can make probably millions because of all the different components you can do, but we'll talk about that later.
Okay, so he said, just like they're not telling you how many guns you can make, he said actually you could probably make millions of guns. But we'll talk about that later. And the sad part about it is they never did come back around to talk about that later. It was never brought back up. So essentially, making a gun is crafting a gun. So, I wonder how far that actually goes. How far does that crafting go? Crafting elements, crafting guns, or now we're calling them guns instead of multi-tools? Or maybe it's just Daniel Dwyer's opinion on what he saw. Instead of calling them all multi-tools, he's calling them guns. I don't know. But we can make millions of guns with different kinds of combinations of guns. So that is very interesting indeed. And something else that, I know that we just found out recently, that there's like a wanted level. What's the 5 boxes that are on the right side of the screen on the top of the HUD? Those 5 boxes, it's like a 5-star wanted level system, just like in GTA, as Daniel Dwyer explains here.
So there's this thing like lots of the planets that have wildlife on them have these sentinels, which are basically robots that will turn up if you start messing with the planet. So I think that's probably something in the narrative we don't know about. And the interesting thing about those is that it works like GTA. You basically have a 5-star system in the top right of the UI, and the more you do, the bigger sentinels come. But you can shoot those sentinels and then use their carcasses for trade.
Did you hear what I just heard? That when the sentinels attack you, you can attack them and use their carcasses for trading. That is amazing. And I have not heard that anywhere else yet. Wow.
Well, so you can just go down to a planet and intentionally just stir up shit.
That is really interesting, because they've never alluded to that, and it's the most gamey mechanical thing we've ever seen.
And another thing that happened to me actually when we took up from that planet was that there was some traders. I saw them when we were going in, but when we were leaving the planet's atmosphere, there was some traders going past, and a bunch of I guess raiders or whatever like warped in and started attacking the traders. One of them, the cargo hold blew open and a bunch of cargo went out, and then after a while the trader realized, oh, we can't win this fight, and just warped out. And before the raiders got the cargo, Sean like swooped in and like picked up a bunch and blasted out. So like it's that type of game. I think it's beautiful.
So I'd like to point out, I know I let it go on just a little bit long there, but I would like to point out, So yeah, the 5-star wanted level, that's pretty cool. But one of the things that he's saying there at the very end, where the raiders came in, they were attacking this cargo ship or trader ship, and they won, and some loot fell out. Well, it's people are asking, I'm putting out a little rant video of me talking about what do you do in No Man's Sky, and this is a good example right here. He's flying by and something happens that he witnesses that he has to deal with, or that he can choose to deal with. It's an incident that happens right in front of him, right in front of you, and you're like, wow, check that out. Look what's going on. Should I jump in? Should I help attack this cargo ship? Maybe I can get a piece of the cut, or maybe I can help attack it and then take it all for myself, or maybe I can take my chances and kill the raiders. So it's just that immediate gameplay, that strolled down a park. You go out of your house and you just walk down the street. You don't know what's going to happen to you, and that's pretty much No Man's Sky. You stroll down the planet, you fly around a planet, and you don't know what's going to happen to you. But anyways, we get on to the release date, where he starts talking about the release date. And again, guys, take what he says, take what Danny O'Dwyer right here says with a grain of salt.
This is a super well-made indie game.
Yeah.
It looks incredible, looks really good. It looks better, I think, in the sort of the space stuff. The stuff on the planet looks a little bit rough around the edges. Obviously, they're not releasing it for a long time yet. I think it's going to be a really interesting game. I think the people who stay with it, Andy made a good point. The people who stick with this and enjoy it will keep playing it.
You'll get out what you put in, and it's good to kind of make sure you lower your expectations. I think a lot of people are going and expecting the kind of like crafted experience in something like Mass Effect or something like that. Not with the combat and the kind of like dialogue tree, but like every like race is intricately detailed. And although there might be some information on the types of monsters and wildlife out there, it's not going to be as interconnected and as like set in stone as something like Mass Effect.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
because we've got loads of those games. So this is like a different type of game. Just when we'll be able to play it, that was the problem.
That is the problem. Any indications?
The one thing Sean said was that if I'm at E3 next year, I'll go crazy. So that kind of made me think, I wonder if that means guys might try and get it out before this time next year. I think the sense I get from that camp is that they really want to say a release date. I think that they're under. I feel like the team also doesn't want to say release date because then they have that pressure and they have a lot of expectation on it. So what I think what's going to happen is, I think by the end of this year, we will definitely know when it's coming out. I think probably, I wonder if Gamescom might be when we see it.
Yeah, maybe.
But to be like, if I was a betting man, and I don't like betting on these things because I get them wrong relatively as often as I get them right, I think we'll see it in the next 12 months, I think.
Excellent. Well,
Okay, so there you have it. Danny O'Dwyer does not believe this game's going to come out at all this year. I mean, period. He believes it's going to come out next year, which at this point, guys, I'm actually leaning more towards this game might come out in 2016 too. I don't want that, but it's looking that way. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think below about when you think this game's going to get released. Let me know below what you guys think about not being able to name a planet before you discovered enough things on it first. And let me know what you guys think about the landing. How it's not simple and straightforward. Sean's just a pro. All right, I love you guys. I'm going to be uploading a few more videos, the one that they were talking about Jaden Smith. What? So look out for that. Until next time.